Hello, Radiant One, and a very big and a very warm welcome to this video episode where I'm going to be sharing with you the 80-20 rule hack that I use for clients when they are wanting to transition into a new area or if they're wanting to shift directions in their careers or their work. So this is really for established business owners or experienced leaders. And it's for when you still want to, you want to change direction, but you still want to put food on the table and you still want to feel connected, uplifted, and empowered rather than discouraged and defeated, which is very often the case when there's something that's new that's calling us, because it's a both and. I may be looking at my notes because there's a couple of things I want to make sure that I get it right for you. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you may see me looking at my notes. Now, first of all, change is inevitable. It's part of life. It's part of business. It's part of work. Everything is constantly in motion. Everything is constantly expanding and shifting and growing. So you as an established business owner or as an experienced leader, wanting to, if you have a successful business or a successful career and you're wanting to change direction or wanting to implement or add new services or products or venture into new areas or even new industries, is perfectly normal. I just want to emphasize that I see this all of the time with my clients. And the reason why I want to emphasize this so hard is because very often from the people that I work with, I hear that they are they're sort of feeling discouraged, that they thought they were on this one track and everything is going fine, you're successful, you're thriving, everything seems to be quote unquote the way it's meant to be. And yet still you've got this yearning, there's something that your heart is calling you towards. And so while that can be exciting and exhilarating, it can also be like, no, I thought I was doing this for the rest of my life. So I just want to make sure that you understand that again, that is perfectly normal. It's part of nature. It's part of human nature. If we look to nature, you'll see all of the cycles. And so it's completely natural. And also, if you're someone who wants to feel supported as you move through this transition, this is where most of my clients land in front of me. So you can go ahead and apply for a free discovery session on mariasarafina.com/apply to see if us working together and me supporting you through that transition would be the right fit. Okay, so with the 80-20 rule, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share briefly what the rule, the hack that I have. And then I'm also going to give you 2 real life examples from clients that I've had to sort of inspire you. I'm going to give you an inquiry that you can sit with. And finally, at the end, I'm going to give you 3 free tips that you can use to implement this transition or this 80-20 rule in your work and in your business to move you in the direction that you really, really are being called towards right now. Okay, so at its core, the 80-20 rule is really, really simple. What we do is we look at how can you spend 20% of your time making 80% of your income while you are transitioning into that new thing that you want, so that you are growing, so that you're spending most of your time on this new thing that you're really, really excited about, while still, like I said, putting food on the table, still supporting your employees if you've got those, and also your clients. So the 80-20 rule is at its core really simple. What most people struggle with is the implementation. And that is why my clients have dubbed me the queen of aligned action, is because I support you in taking those aligned steps. Once you recognize this is what I want, this is what I want to implement, I help you take the very next step, and the very next step, I hold you accountable to that and help you through that in the implementation phase. And like I said, when it comes to the 80-20 rule and transitions, 80% of your income should come from 20% of your time, meaning that you can spend 80% of your time focused on what truly lights you up. So the first thing I want you to give you is a question or an inquiry to sit with, and that is, what are the products or services that I can deliver that would allow me to do that? And I bet I bet something has already jumped into your head right now. And if something has jumped into your head and you also have the next thought of, but I can't do that, just know that that is, again, perfectly normal. One of my clients where I suggested this, like her initial reaction was like, oh, hell no. Like, I don't want to, I can't do that. Because she was so tired of the products and services that she were delivering. She really just wanted to focus on the new. And the thing is, Radiant One, you don't have to do what I suggest or anyone else suggests. What I want you to do is open your heart and open your mind to see how can I tailor this to suit me. And because you got to be the one that's resonating with it. Now, what happened was she went home with that. And she sat with it, and then she started to see the brilliance of it. Then she started to get excited about it. Then she realized that structuring her week to do this would not be bogging her down, but it would actually lift her up, because she would be spending time focused also on the thing that the new things that were exciting to her and was really calling towards her. So she did the math. She said, okay, she looked at the math. She said, if I invoice this amount of hours per week, that would be more than sufficient. And then she got super excited about the prospect of how she could spend the rest of her week doing what it is that she was, the projects that she really wanted to implement. So have that in mind. Now, another client of mine, this was an illustrator from years ago. It was one of my very first clients where I did this with them. And they were like, to say that they were bitter and annoyed was an understatement. They were bitter and annoyed because he was a successful illustrator, meaning that he was constantly, quote unquote, being bombarded with client requests, which in his experience or his opinion meant that it kept taking him away from what he truly wanted to do, which was to write and illustrate his own books. So instead of when he arrived with me, we had a look at what is the dream, what is it that you would like, and that's when we tailored the 80-20 rule to suit him. Because before, like I said, he was bitter and he was annoyed with all of these clients that just kept coming in. He was he's a brilliant illustrator. So of course people are going to be flooding his doors. It's up to him to choose who he wants to work with and not. So what we did was, like I said, we tailored the 80-20 rules to him in the way that he would be getting, if a client request came in, and it meant that he would be spending less or about 20% of his time, and it would also give him 80% of his targeted income, he would say yes. If not, he would start referring these clients out. And he got, he had a bunch of colleagues that he could refer out to that he really trusted. And if you're in whether it's a product services that you have, or whether it's a product or a service that you have, consider who are your colleagues in the industry that you could start referring clients out to. Maybe you can create a kickback. That's something that I did with another client of mine, is where we actually created an affiliate or a kickback scheme where they would, once they referred a client out, they would get a kickback from that client if they landed with the other client. And of course that was all out in the open and upfront. So with this illustrator, initially he struggled. It was really difficult for him to say no to clients, because he had gotten in the mindset of, oh, I'm a freelancer, I have to say yes to everything that comes my way. And so, like I said, he struggled. However, me as his coach, I knew his true desires. I knew what his dreams were. And so that's why he hired me. I was there to lovingly hold him accountable. So I held him to the fire and supported him through it. No, if I was one of those quick fix 5 steps to a gazillion dollars per month coaches, I would tell you that, everything just happened overnight. He struck gold and everything just magically fell into place, which would be a lie. Instead, he and those with whom I've implemented this 80-20 rule with, gets to experience the deep satisfaction that comes from actually doing the work, from taking one step after the next, and building your dream and seeing it come to life. There is there is such a satisfaction in that you're taking these small steps and all of a sudden you realize, oh wait, I've actually created this. I have created this new life, this new venture, this new path for me. And that's what happened. So no, it wasn't an overnight thing. It took a good while. However, today, this is what he does. He works for himself still. He illustrates, he writes books, and he also takes on those jobs that, again, lift him up and support him as well. So I want to leave you, like I said, with 3 tips. The first one is, like I said, sit with the inquiry that I mentioned. What are the products and services that I deliver that would allow me to spend 20% of my time making 80% of my income? That's the first thing I want you to sit with, and allow for yourself to give it a moment. The answer might not be straight away. It might mean that you need to let it simmer for a little bit and see what comes up for you. Be mindful of the resistance. Be mindful of the, oh, I can't do that. In which case, I have 2 other resources. Number 1 is you can download my free Divine Clarity and Aligned Action Guide. You go to mariasarafina.com/DCAA, and that will help guide you through a process of getting everything that's in your head out on paper or down on typing, and then out into the world, so you can get clarity over what are the things that I have that would allow me to do this. That's the second tip. And the third tip I've already mentioned. It is to apply for a free discovery session. Go to mariasarafina.com/apply. If you're accepted that session will be completely free. I will support you in whatever way I can. And then let's see if we are meant to work together on a continued basis. Now, the final thing is, my question is, have you already implemented this 80-20 rule in this way? I would love for you to share that with us in the comments, because I believe that the more of us that share these experiences, the more we inspire others to and ignite inspiration in the way that they can then move forward with this. So that's what I wanted to share with you, the 80-20 transition hack that will help you still put food on the table and move towards your dreams. I am sending you so much love and hope you'll have a wonderful day wherever in the world you might be. Lots of love. Bye. That is what I had for you in today's episode of Mastery with Maria Saraphina. I hope it served you well. For all the deeds and details, click the link in the description and help me spread the love of this transmission by sharing it with a friend or on social media, or leave me a comment or review. Have a wonderful day. God bless.